Good morning, Internet, and welcome back to the Ironic Paradise. So, I haven't looked over here in a little bit, and yeah, there's a lot of ice right there. So, as this water is falling off, it's forming chunks and then combining. So, at some point, that will melt as I keep making my ice tower. Looks like there's been a couple more carbon dioxide explosions over here. But the main deal is over here. So I'm working on feeding the tree. And I was originally going to feed it barbecue. But there's no good way to limit. Like you can't set a size restriction in here. And so I tried setting the time, but it just picked up all of my barbecue and fed it to the tree. So that seemed like a bad idea. Because this map came with slime, I decided to put in a mushroom farm and I'm going to feed fried mushroom to the tree. So that's what's happening over here. I built more pip ranches for more barbecue, so at some point I might feed barbecue to the tree. But yeah, there's just no point. Over here, what I want to talk about is rocket engines. So I built a Radbolt engine. And we're going to do a bit of playing around, so I don't mind the debug mode to kind of have a look. Because in the update, what they talk about is the Radbolt engine being faster. But near as I can tell, it's not that much faster. And the amount of resources you have to put into it doesn't seem worth it. So it can hold a lot of Radbolts. And its rocket speed is 2 tiles per cycle, and it's got a huge range. So when you fill it up, you can run it all over the place. But to power this thing, you need Radbolts. And at best, you need at least 1 Radbolt generator. Well, that's 480 watts continuous. If you're in a good radiation area, which obviously this setup is ridiculous, you don't even get 2 shots per cycle. And let's say you have 100% efficiency. And let's say you're getting 2 shots per cycle. That's 100 shots, 100 Radbolts per cycle at 480 watts. So you times 480 by 600, that's how much power you used up a cycle for 100 Radbolts. The math just starts to break down on me. Here, I'm actually going to pull up my calculator just to make sure I'm looking at this right. So if it's 22 cycles... Oh, I did that backwards. Yeah, so you need... It's 218 Radbolts per tile. So you need 4 perfect shots from a Radbolt generator to move 1 tile. That is an enormous amount of power. In comparison, a carbon dioxide rocket at minimum takes 240 watts. And I know that, once it's full, then you're not using it. But my point is, a carbon dioxide rocket can move... I don't even know if I have a carbon dioxide rocket left right now. I think I converted these all to petroleum. Where's that rocket? It says I have 2 rockets there. Yeah, I don't know where that rocket is. Because there's two here. And that's Apollo and SS whatever. Oh, there's a rocket over here. Okay. I was confused, like, yeah, rockets aren't spawning in the right place. So let's just do this. Carbon dioxide. Bang. It should be connected. Yeah. So right now I'm using 240 watts to fill this up. And it's going to take some carbon dioxide, obviously, which you get easily enough from dupes and from various power generation. So I'm not really worried about the source of the carbon dioxide. It's more about just the amount of power it takes. And this ends up with a range of 4, which isn't much, but it has a speed of 6.7. Very, very fast. And here, we'll even pull up the sugar engine. Now, sugar engine also needs oxidizer. But it has a speed of 4 tiles per second. So with a sugar engine, you need critters to make sugar and you need oxalate or fertilizer. But let's focus on oxalate. Oxalate's 1200 watts a second. 1200 watts a second, but you don't need very much of it. This thing you have to run continuously to get any sort of good potential out of it. And if you're flying it around, you can turn off the rad bolts, but there's no way to store them. Oxalate I can make and store until the rocket's back. This rad bolt engine, it needs to be sit here to collect it. Same thing once you get to a petroleum rocket. You need to make petroleum. Let's say you're doing it the traditional way. You need, oh, come on, stay. You need 480 watts of power to make petroleum, and you need an oil well. So let's say for a small petroleum engine or big petroleum engine, you need 600 watts of power. It's not as fast, it's only 1.5 tiles per second, but you can store petroleum. These, you just can't store it. And then when you shoot this rocket engine, the nuclear fallout that comes out of it, yeah, you can use it to make more rad bolts. I'm failing to see the point of this. Does this not produce power? Oh, it's not even full yet. Oh, that's even worse. And it doesn't produce power. So you can't power anything in your rocket, even though... Okay, that makes more sense. It looks like its final range is going to be 24 tiles. I thought it was full. It's still not full, even using this crazy setup. Yeah, so it's 200 rad bolts per tile. I'm failing to see the point of the radiation engine. It's not that much faster. It's got a huge range, which is nice, but it doesn't provide power. If you're going to not provide power, carbon dioxide rocket gets you to most of the planets. And if you bring lumber with you, you can make carbon dioxide to come back and power the pumps. Sugar engine, it's renewable in the sense that you need critters to make more sucrose. But this engine is fast. Here, let's add in. Let's add in the liquid oxidizer. Just so I see what the range is with liquid oxidizer. Because I believe this is full. Yeah. Yeah, so it also only has a range of 4. Oh, its rocket speed is 1.5. Okay. So its speed is the same as the small petroleum engine. So once you get petroleum, you don't need sugar anymore. The main benefit of the sugar engine is it has a source of power and the carbon dioxide engine doesn't, in terms of early engines. But even if you have a whacked out star map, trying to get someplace with the radiation engine, you can get there and get back without refueling, but you don't get to store up any radiation. At some point they might add something that allows you to store it. And because rad bolts degrade over space, over tiles, whatever your source of radiation is has to be close to the engine. See, I'm just not seeing it. Anyway, that's my view on the radiation engine. I don't see what the reason is. Yeah, see, now they're shooting past. I wonder how much this thing holds. Right, let's redirect that. So for the radiation engine, you need some source of good radiation, which means moving uranium ore. Obviously, for your interplanetary launcher, it's going to be at one of your main 3 bases. You know, you either want it at your second asteroid where you teleport to because it's got the oil wells. You want it on your main base because that's probably going to be your main production. Or you're going to want it over here because this is the source of metal. The main benefit of being over here is you do have a source of radiation. Oh, that's interesting. The carbon dioxide freezing is blocking the radiation. Interesting. Yeah, well, that's slowly starting to melt. I don't see any reason to try to build radioactive stuff over here because there's no good source of radiation other than space, which isn't great. And I don't think... You don't have any source of radiation. And I don't think the water planet does either. Yeah, nothing. Same thing with you. Yeah, so there's only, one good source of natural radiation, which is your 3rd planet. I haven't made any fried mushrooms yet. And the place you want to launch stuff from isn't your 3rd planet. You want to launch stuff to your 3rd planet other than launching metal back. Yeah. In terms of the sour gas, for some reason this one loves to pop off with natural gas. And I don't know precisely why that is. I guess I made all this out of cobalt. I didn't screw up my piping, did I? This is insulated. Yeah, that's all insulated. So the reason you get natural gas is this methane will occasionally flash, and then that natural gas moves up to the top. These liquid vents will eat it. The downside is when you have all this natural gas up here, the sour gas pressure goes up and can't get past it. But it's still running. This is staying above 20 kilograms of pressure. So these other engines are going to keep turning on and off. And same thing over here. Yeah, this one's running perfect. I wonder if that's because I made these out of aluminum. I know, I haven't tried making one of these out of cobalt before, so I wonder if there's a difference. Conductivity 205. What about the pipe? Yeah, I made the pipe out of the same stuff. Radiant 410. Here. Tile. Conductivity 100. And 200. Okay, so aluminum's a better transfer of cold. Alright, well, make them out of aluminum or thermium. That's easy enough. And this is broken where if you have an atomic collider, it says no research focus, but there isn't any research to do. It's all done. So yeah, that's a bit broken. I might try the Rad Bolt engine at some point in the real game, but I just don't see a point. You don't tell me how many Rad Bolts you're holding. Unless that's it saying it has 500? Yeah, okay. So we'll wait for that to fill up and see how many this thing actually holds. While I was waiting for this to fill up with Rad Bolts, the same thought occurs to me. How much power does it take to actually run this thing? Because you need 5 perfect Rad Bolt shots to launch 200 kilograms. At 480 watts per 2 shots times 600, it's a lot of power. Yeah, they get there fast, but it's only 200 kilograms. It is faster and cheaper to build a rocket and launch it and disassemble it than it is to run this thing. And that's only if you have good sources of radiation. If you're using regular background radiation... Oh, I got rid of those. These are pulling in 87, but let's get rid of this. Now they're down to 12. At 480 watts per cycle, and you're only getting 1 shot every 5 cycles, that means it's 25 cycles to launch. Holy crap, 25 cycles times 600 times 480. That is a lot of power. Yeah, I'm not sure. They might have to do some balancing on that. It's you might have to build a nuclear reactor just to get enough radiation to run this thing, which I guess provides you enough power to run it. I don't know, the math just seems off to me. The amount of resources put into it. Oh, down here, I was these things have been rotating for a while. I had this set to negative 155. So what was on there was 130. And I'm why isn't it dropping off? Well, if you have your temperature set to negative 155 in a steam room, you're just never going to get there. So I fed my trees some stuff. Alright, let's feed the tree and see what happens. Worst case scenario, I'm going to have to kill a bunch of pips. Alright, you already picked stuff up. Turn you off. Yeah, that was all of my food. But we're about to cook up some more. Let's just kill those guys. Ice resin comes out as a liquid? Oh, I thought it came out as a solid. Alright, what do I then have to do with this? Freeze point 20. That we can do. I don't mind making my base 19 degrees. Yeah, my thimble reed might have an issue, but who cares? And I don't want to mop it up because I don't want it in bottles. I want it to actually freeze. Let's not even risk you picking up anything. Yeah, you've got some meat in you. Look, there's only 4 dupes over here. Okay, that was 250,000 in food. Oh, and resin doesn't even show up. Well, let's see. This is nice and cold, right? So if I do... Yeah, we're gonna make this fast. That. Do a couple of... shift plates. Oh, here's a problem. The tree is going to eat my dupes. Make sure I don't have debug mode on so they can actually mop. Alright, get out of there. Yeah, that was half their health. Alright, well, seems like my dreams of insulated pipe are right out the window. Let's do this. Some of these are outgassing a little bit. Oh, there's... no. Alright. Well, let's encase these in bricks so I don't have to worry about it. Oh, I suppose my dupes need ladder. Alright, what happens when I freeze this resin? I assume I've got to get it down to like 18 degrees. mean, it's not even that much of it, right? I've got 28 kilograms, so 50, let's call it. What did you just eat? Oh, it's probably him. Probably the tree attacking another dupe. Yeah. The fleeing takes a long time. Like, they're way away from it before they actually get that fleeing warning. Alright. We might just cheat a little bit right here. Really? That didn't interact at all? That just makes resin. Do I then have to make resin into isoresin? My first time experimenting with this. I guess not. Used in the production of isoresin. Okay, well I guess they haven't implemented that yet, because I can make resin, but I can't make isoresin. Yeah, well, that part we've got. So if you heat it up too much, it just turns into steam. So that's very, very bad. Polymerized into isoresin by boiling away its excess moisture. So I need to make it hot? Well, luckily, we have some hot rooms. Nope, that just turned into steam. Oh, no, there it is. That gave me 900 grams of isoresin. Yeah, that ain't worth it. Holy crap. I mean, Visco Gel takes 35 kilograms of isoresin. Alright, we're going to play for a minute. I know we're getting to be over time. Here, let's just do... There. Nice, hot steam. Let's toss in 1,000 kilograms of that. That turned into sour gas. Alright, maybe that was a bit too hot. Oops. Clicked in the wrong place. that turned into naphtha. Yeah, cooled off the steam too much. Come on. I want you idiots exchanging heat. Actually, aluminum might melt. Make this out of obsidian. Yeah, I know I made a huge steam explosion over here, but I've got active cooling. That'll all be fine. We will, however, mop up naphtha, because naphtha's annoying. Yeah, we're getting grams of isoresin. Yeah, tree isn't worth it. They've definitely got to do some sort of balancing for isoresin. Because really what you want is insulation. 15 kilograms at a time. I just dropped 1,000 kilograms of resin, and I got a kilogram out. The amount of food that tree would take is just insane. Anyway, more playing to come as we are, as they release updates and balance things, we'll see what's worth it. Right now, isoresin, not worth it. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.